Hello, hello. Should have cashed out here back at the craps table. And today we're going to try something new. We're going to test and review the Arnold. So, Waylon's Way Craps, the Arnold. We're going to give it a roll, see if we can win 10% of our bankroll, and give it an honest review. So, real quick, please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It definitely helps us out, and we sure appreciate it. Also, real quick, if you're not familiar with Waylon's Way Craps, I would extremely encourage you to go check out his channel. He is one of the most knowledgeable people in the craps community, in the craps world, on how to play this game. It is very tough to find someone with more knowledge and experience than Waylon. Okay? So, years and years of playing. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He knows what it takes to win. Definitely check it out. All right, so the Arnold. We are going to test based on his original video, which is a $5,000 bankroll, $25 table. So how it works is you're going to start out with a pass line. Let's say the point goes to the 8. You're going to start out with a $100 DC. That goes to the 5. From there, you're going to do continuous come bets. All right, so let's reset. Let's say we get a point established. It's the 8. DC, it goes to the 5. We do a come bet, and the 5's rolled. Come bet goes to the 5. DC loses. We replace the DC now and ladder up to 200. And then whatever's rolled or whatever. So we ladder up on losses. So it's a negative progression. Any type of negative progression is going to raise the volatility of the strategy. But if you sit there, a lot of these table games, if you just flat bet, you're never going to recover losses. So there has to be an element of recovery with your strategy, unless you're doing a regression system to where you recoup that loss after you've regressed all the way to the table minimum. Not sure if that makes sense or not. It makes sense to me. If you have a question about it, I'm more than happy to answer. All right, so without further ado, let's get it going. Talk y'all through it. If there's any weird instances that happen, we may not ladder up if we're in profit. If we're not in profit, we're definitely laddering up. All right, here we go. We're on the pass line, coming out. 10. $100 DC. There's the 10. Shotgun the point. DC goes to the 10. Points off. $25 winner on the pass line. We'll rack it. Coming out. There's the 5. Points on the 5. Now we do continuous come bet. We're at level 1. 7 here would be good. 3 craps 3. Come loses. Remember that loses on 2, 3, 12. It wins on 7 and 11. All right. We just replace. We only ladder up if the DC loses. And we're, there it is. There's the 10. So come travels to the 10. DC's a loser. We're going to ladder up since we're not in profit now. So we got $200 DC. There's the 7. That absolutely sucks. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but I have played this system and tested it many times over the past few years. All right, so we lost, so we go to level 2 because we are at level 2 on the DC. So now we're at $50 pass line. Actually, no, I apologize because we got whacked here. We're now at level 3. So we're at the $75 level on our come bets and pass line. There's the 5. $300 DC. This is why you need the massive bankroll. Here we go. There's the 8. DC goes to the 8. $75 continuous come. There's the 7. Okay. That was pretty good. So we lose on the pass line, but we win in the come. And then we win 300 on the DC. So that's the strength of the system, is that 7's going to come at some point when you really need it. All right, so we're still down about $50. So we'll just go to level 2, which is 50 on the pass, and we're coming out. There's the 4. We're at level 2, so that's 200 in the DC. DC goes to the 8. And $50 continuous come since we're at level 2. Come goes to the 10. All right, there we go. There's the 4. Hit the point. Come bet travels there. Point goes off. We won on the pass line. All right. So we were down $50. So what we can actually do is come down a level. We can come down a level, and these bets are all working. Okay? Especially these come bets. They're contract bets. They're always working. Okay? Our 8 is working, and we've got our $25 pass line. Here we go. There's the 8. We'll mark the 8. DC falls. That was $200, so we're going to ladder up. Going to $300 DC. There's the 7. All right. Look at what happens. We lose 300, 350, 400, 425. Just like that. 425 simoleons. That was level 3, so we are now at level 4. Coming out. Midnight. That's a loser on the pass line. We'll just replace. 6 is the point. So we are at level 4, so that is 400 big ones in the DC. There's the 9. All right, we're at level 4, so that means $100 continuous come. That's a loser in the come, 3. We just replace. There's Yo 11. That's a winner in the come. Six. That's the point. Come goes to the 6. Bucks off. $100 winner on the pass line. We rack it. Staying at this level. Here we go. That's working, and our DC's working. 5 is the point. And $100 continuous come. There's the 6. All right. So that's an off and on. Win $100. All right. Bets are set. There's the 6. That's another off and on. $100. There's the 4. Come goes to the 4. Another $100. There's the hard 10. Come bet travels. Get another one out there. There's the hard 4. That's an off and on. Pays $100. There's the 6. So now we're seeing some action here. So that's another off and on. Wins $100. Midnight. Loser in the come. We just replace. 8. Come bet travels to the 8. There we go. Got all the numbers covered now. There's the 5. That's the point. Come bet travels. Puck goes off. $100 winner on the pass. All right. Here we go. Coming out. If we remove the gator board, that would be a 5-3-8. Not a 9. Sorry, I bumped it. That was a 5-3. So the point goes here. Come bet gets paid because they're always working. There we go. Rag it. And then replace the come. There's the 8. That's the point. Come bet travels to the 8. Pass line gets paid. There we go. And I think we're doing pretty good. So let's go. Let's ladder down 75 there. 75 on the pass. There's the 10. Come bet's going to get paid. There we go. Rag it. And all bets are set. There's the 5. Got a monster roll going on here. They're going to trade places. $100 winner. All bets are set. 7. All right, we're going to lose all of these. The come's going to get paid. And then our DC is going to get paid. 400. Let's check where the old bankroll is. Let me get change for some greens. There's 100. There's 200. 300. 400. 400 in green. See where that puts us. Now we're trying to win 10%, so $500. So there's we're up $200 so far. $200. So we can go all the way back to base. There we go. So you saw how it fought back, but I mean, you start getting whacked on the DC 200, 300, 400, 500. That's when IBS could kick in, you know? And you're squeezing cheeks. Not sure I like that feeling when I'm at the craps table, but here we go. $100 DC. There's the 5-1. DC goes to the 6. We're at base level, so it's a $25 continuous come. There's the 4. That's the point. Travels. Pucks off. $25 winner on the pass line. All right, here we go. Points 5. $25 continuous come. There's the 5. Shotgun the point. Come travels. Puck off. $25 winner on the pass. Rag it. And we're coming out. Everything's working. There's the 3-2-5 fever. Okay, 5's gonna get the point. That's gonna come down. That's gonna get paid. Racket. Here we go. There's the 9. Come travels. Replace. 3 craps. Come falls. We just replace. There's the 5-1-6. So come travels, DC falls. And we're looking at our bankroll, 150. So we're still like $50 in profit, even with everything that's out there. So we'll just stay at level 1. There's no reason to ladder up if we're in profit. All right, here we go. There's the 4-2-6. That travels to the 6. 6 comes down. 6 gets paid. And all bets are set. Yo 11. That wins there. 4-2-6. DC gets whacked. There we go. This time we'll ladder up. There we go. 200 in the DC. There's 9 Nina. DC goes to the 9. The 9 comes down and gets paid. We'll just stack it up because we're at level 2, so we're now at $50 continuous come bets. There's the 6-1, all done, 7. All right. The 4 loses, 6 loses. Gets paid there. Pass line loses. And then our DC, 200 simoleons. There we go. I'm going to get change. There's 100, 200, 200 in green. There we go. And 2 black. So right now we're up 300 simoleons. So we'll go back to base. Bucks off. 4-3-7. It's winner on the pass. Rag it. Coming out. 4-1-5. All right, we're at base level. $100 DC. 2 craps 2. That's going to win 100 in the DC. We are ever so close to our win goal. We've got 300 in the rack, 400 there. We need 100 more bucks. There's 3-2-5. That's the point. DC goes to the 5. Bets off. Whoop. Pass line wins $25. All right. 7 here, and we're at profit goal. Here we go. Coming out. 6-1-7. There it is, folks. We're going to win on the pass. We're going to win on the DC. Let's rack up the winnings and see where we're at. So, there's our starting bankroll, $5,000. We've got 400. Get a black for that. There we go. And then we've got, so there's 500, 75 bucks. Win goal achieved. So, the Arnold. It is steady. It does what it's supposed to do. You're playing the strongest bets at the craps table. Some of the strongest, okay? And we'll discuss elements of that. But these two are some of the best bets in the entire casino. This, in my opinion, is probably the strongest bet in the casino. Yes, we can argue and debate that, but in my opinion, especially if this DC goes to like the 4 or 10 and you got to roll that number twice before the 7, yeah, it's yeah. So, you're playing with the strongest bets right there. Now you're hedging it for one roll with the come out with the 7 and 11. And then, so it's strong until a number's rolled. Then it becomes weak. Same with the pass. It's strong until you get a number established. Then it becomes kind of weak. Whereas the don't pass in DC, they only get stronger once a number's rolled. So, okay, final thoughts and review on the Arnold. Bankroll is the first category. You do need a sizable bankroll to be successful with this strategy. Now, we played it at the $25 level. You can scale it down to where you're doing $10 and $40. You know, $15 table, you would be at 15, and then you'd be at what? 15, 60. And then you'd ladder up 15, 30, 45, 60, and these would go up 60, 120, 180. So it gets up there super quick. So you need a bankroll that's sizable to protect you for those DC ladders. Now, you can scale it all the way down to the bubble crap level. Okay? You could do $1 on the pass or don't pass, and then $4, and then scale up from there at the bubble crap level. Or if you want to do $2 and then $8, $2 continuous. So the scalability of the strategy is very, very friendly. And for that, I give it a 4 out of 5. Strategy simplicity. It's kind of middle of the road. Where it kind of gets confusing is, do you when to exactly ladder up, or when are you okay to ladder down? It could get a little confused, especially with newer players trying to keep up with that. Plus, maybe you're stressed because your DC is getting whacked. You could easily lose track of where you're at in your ladder or at a live table. If you're not keeping up with your bankroll, and to quickly run off the railroad track here, that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I see people make at the craps table, is not keeping track of their bankroll in their rack. Rack management in this game is extremely important. Okay, so anywho, strategy simplicity, it gets a 3 out of 5. So middle of the road, 3 out of 5. Now, random roller friendly. This is definitely random roller friendly. You're not, it just, you're doing the same thing. It just, you're kind of playing with the table. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cheering or booing at awkward times sometimes during the strategy, but overall, you're not too worried about someone who just grabs the dice and flings it. Okay? And to dive more into that, when you're at the table and you're evaluating it, you're looking at who's setting the dice and who's just grabbing it and chunking it, right? And I'm not going to argue about the dice setting or dice influencing, but let's be honest. Would you rather bet big on someone who's actually setting the dice and finessing the throw, or would you rather bet big on somebody who's just chunking them? With this strategy, you're not worried about it. You just bet the same no matter what's going on. So for that, it is a 4. It's very random roller friendly. Next category, how likely are you to win your 10% profit goal? And this is kind of middle of the road, 3, because you could lose your butt but also you could sneak out that 10% win pretty easily. So it just goes to how the system is more volatile because of how aggressive the ladder is. So for that, it's a 3. Comp value. Now, when you're playing craps, a lot of these strategies, you're looking to win a cruise or a free cruise. And if you're playing at this $25 level, 100 and going up and all that, and you've got this sort of bankroll backing you up, you're going to get comps pretty darn quick. And you're going to play at the table for quite a bit. I don't know how long our video was of us playing that short time. It was probably at least 15, 20 minutes. And that was with me moving fast. So you can imagine the pace it would go with like a full table. So you're playing for a couple of hours with these sizable bets out there. Comps are going to be really good. So it gets 4 out of 5. And so where it ends up, it gets 18 out of 20. It was 2 points away from the perfect score. Would I recommend this strategy? Yes, if you have the bankroll. If you're a low roller or you're not comfortable laddering up with those sort of big bets, then I wouldn't recommend this. But if you're going in with the money to back up your strategy, this is a solid choice. So that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed. And till next time, be excellent to each other.